Yo, what's up, guys? Jyles here from the Jyles FBA podcast. I'm with Michael and Isaac. Isaac does all the social media and video work for Jyles FBA. So yeah, Isaac, tell us a little bit about yourself, dude.
Yeah, dude. Me and Jyles, we played Fortnite when we were about 14 years old, and we've been just trying to hustle ever since. So I've been watching him do all of his things, and then recently, I didn't really know too much about his group. Might have said he had it, but we got to talking, and I'm like, hey, I can make content for you. So we've been texting pretty much ever since, and I'm not directly involved with Amazon FBA, but I definitely have an interest to it, and it seems like a fun model to like get involved with. And it's honestly, you would think it'd be boring to make content about, but I learn a lot, and it's all helpful information, so it's really fun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Amazon is reselling. People make it way more complex than it really is. Essentially, what I do is called online arbitrage, OA. I buy something online, let's say from Walmart or any retailer. I ship it to a prep center, which that's a little more complex, but you can ship it to yourself, and then you can prep the units and you ship it to Amazon FBA. You sell name brand products. So, for example, Nike, Lego, and name brand products. Yeah, Stanley, anything that's basically you have all the data in front of you and you see that it's selling X amount per month. And then, yeah, I mean, you just produce sales. I tell people all the time, I sell data rather than actual products.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a very simple process, but there's a lot of learning, I guess. It's a big learning curve, especially if you're coming from, let's just say, sneakers and you're going for raffles every day or weekly or whatever it is, and you just get the shoes and sell on StockX per se. It's definitely a learning curve. You're gonna have to learn to read some charts and crunch some numbers, but yeah, it's a simple process.
Yeah, and what I've seen obviously I've been trying to discover little things to hustle all my life, and what I've seen from your server is it takes some knowledge to get into, like you gotta learn the numbers and the processes and all that, but compared to other hustles, like you can get going in less than a year. Like a lot of your people in your server have been doing it for less than a year and are thriving. You know what I mean? Michael, have you been in for a year?
Actually,
I just recently, when I opened my seller app, seller app, it'll show me my percent change from last year. And as of, I believe it was November 3rd or so it's been 2 weeks, that percent change finally showed up. It was like 6,600 percent up from last Q4, which was when I started, actually. I mean, I did like 1K in sales, 2K in sales, November and December. And then right now I'm on track for another 75K month. Last month was 72. So there's just a little, I mean, yeah, gross margins, I think, were 18% around there.
Yeah, so from my angle,
definitely great or easy to get started, like in under a year.
100%. From my angle, you're thriving right now. When did you just like, how many months did it take for you to like get into the flow, feeling like, hey, I'm not a noob anymore, like I kind of know what I'm doing?
Honestly, first few months, like my margins were a lot better. Obviously, I was prepping in-house, didn't have a prep center, didn't really know what I was doing, working with very little capital, so I was going harder on high ROI, high margin, anything that sold fast. Wasn't really taking any risks because I didn't have the money to do so.
Yeah.
But I'd say March, my March profit matched November 22, December 22, and January and February of 23. And that's when I was like, okay, well, this shit's real. I'll be able to be able to scale this faster than I thought. I'm still just reinvesting. I want to work with a bunch of capital, be able to take out like profit for myself that is unreal numbers. Like I would be happy with making 6 figures a year at 21, but that's just, if you have the power to reinvest and it's very little risk with online arbitrage, then I'm going to do that. Give it a couple years, build it as a real business model, and try and thrive off of that rather than go for short-term money.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing it just like you. Like they're at that 1 year mark and they're seeing nice numbers. I mean, it's crazy.
Right.
Jyles,
what's up, dude?
so I knew you when you were 14 years old. You were playing sports, throwing the ball, stuff like that. Streaming Fortnite, making maybe 1,000 on your highest month of money from. How the heck did you get from Fortnite to Amazon before our little lighting change there?
Fortnite to Amazon. Well, I went through a million different businesses. Isaac, I think you know, I had a print-on-demand clothing business that was focused around content creators and streamers. Essentially, I would hit up all the content creators and streamers that I knew, and I'd make clothing for them. So I'd hire or I'd design clothing for them, and then they would produce sales. I'd give them a cut of the sales. I'd keep a cut of the sales. I think out of the entire year that I did that, I made $4,000, maybe, and I put in like some time to it, and I was thrilled with $4,000.
Yeah.
My mom, not so much. She's like, "You're putting in all this time, and you only made $4,000." I'm like, "Well, if you break it down, I mean, yeah, I guess." But I don't know. I learned a lot from that, just from communicating with clients, other streamers, learning a business model of print on demand. I mean, running a Shopify site, which is fairly simple to do, but a lot of people overcomplicate it. But yeah, from there, basically I shut down that business after I kind of quit streaming. And then I started working for Zach, which I went to high school with him. He owned a business called Card Brokers. Basically, it was a cook group that it was focused around cards back during the COVID days. So 2020 through whenever, sports cards were booming. You could go to Target, Walmart, you can buy off their websites, the boxes, blaster boxes, megas for $25, $35 and resell them for $100 and $150. Like, just outrageous because no one could get their hands on them. So I started working for him. I started working within the group, doing posts. It's basically providing knowledge to the members of that group. And then from there, I discovered Amazon FBA somehow. I'm not really even sure how. Maybe just some talk in the community or Twitter or something like that. So I decided to kind of dive into it a bit more. I have a pretty addictive personality, so whenever I dive into something, I usually go pretty hard at it. Whether it's for a few months or a few years, I usually go pretty hard. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, I guess. But I dove into that. I started watching YouTube, reading online like blogs and websites and stuff of that nature to obtain more knowledge about Amazon FBA. I really thought it was something that I would enjoy. And I started providing information to other groups. So I didn't really have the capital to back making, let's say, $25,000 wholesale POs. So I was thinking of a different way to kind of stay within the community and provide knowledge and get some capital so I can actually start investing into my own Amazon FBA career. So basically, I would spend hours every day contacting group owners, asking if they wanted to use my Amazon FBA information service, where I'd provide leads, support, guides, all that fun stuff. Well, after a few months, I was able to obtain 20, 25, 30-ish groups. And yeah, essentially from there, people were asking me, "Hey, Jyles, why don't you have your own group?" Made my own group. Group's called Jyles FBA. I gained some capital, obviously, from the group's affiliate links, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I started putting money into Amazon FBA, specifically online arbitrage. And yeah, that's kind of how I'm here. That was a quick summary. I mean, I could go on for hours about all the road bumps and other things I kind of dabbled in real quick. And yeah, that led me here. But overall, I mean, Amazon FBA, I mean, like I said, Michael's a prime example of going with $2,000 sales last November, and we'll probably do, I don't know, I'm expecting like 100K plus in sales this November, December, whatever it is, which is insane. There's no other 9 to 5. There's no other job that you can really scale that quick. That is just like right in front of you. Like it's not like we invented some outrageous, crazy business scheme. It's right there. You just have to put in time and effort, and you can obtain that. So, yeah.
And who doesn't have a smartphone, a laptop, a desktop computer to be able to start this? And less than $100 a month between all your softwares, selling on Amazon. That's the startup cost is extremely minimal, and it's just, yeah, like you said, it's so easy to scale. I feel like anyone could do it.
Yeah. My next thing is probably 90% of the people that I've heard or talked to about Amazon FBA, they're a lot like Jyles, where they went from you went from cards to, my bad. You went from cards to Amazon FBA. A lot of people went from sneakers or cards to Amazon FBA, but Michael, you didn't really do that. You just kind of hopped right in, if I believe so. Is that right?
I mean, sort of, yeah. So, I mean, I was very small scale graphics cards. Anything chip shortage graphics cards. I tried wax sports cards because I was a mutual friend. I knew Zach from 8th grade. We actually attended a camp together, stayed in touch. I bought a graphics card off of him at one point, probably junior year of high school, like mid COVID. Gave him $1,600 for that thing, but then I sold it for $1,800. So
Michael, pause. This is actually a funny story. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
Okay.
So I lived with Zach up in Morgantown for a semester of my freshman year of college. So 2 years ago. And I was actually dabbling into GPUs, PS5s, Xboxes, all that fun stuff too. And Zach asked me, he's like, hey, I have a buddy up here that needs a GPU. Do you have an extra GPU? And at the time I didn't, because I mean, right when I get GPUs, PS5s, I would just send them into wholesalers.
Turn around.
Yeah, get instant money, get instant profit back, because I didn't have the capital to have $1,500 into a GPU or $1,000 into a GPU and just have sit in my room. So that's funny that was actually you that he found the GPU for.
Yeah, well, no, he actually this wasn't in college. This was in high school. So he literally said he had that thing sitting in his closet because he was going to build a new PC. This was like fresh card brokers. He was starting to make good money. I guess just forgot about it. And once he learned I was like doing graphics cards and stuff, he was like, "Yeah, you want this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, actually, I'm pretty sure I paid him $1,300. Market was about $16. Threw it in my PC. I was 16, 17. I was like, I can't afford this. Like, I'm not holding on to this. That was in the point of my career or life, I guess, where I was like, kind of just, I was very materialistic. Right. But it really just hit me that I was like, I cannot be buying these things at this point in my life. Like, take the money and run. Yeah. So then I turned around and flipped it for, I want to say like $1,825. I netted $400 profit, and then I went back to an old 1080, I think, and then ran a 1660 Ti for the next 4 years, and I actually just upgraded this in August. So it's been a while, and I was finally able to sit down and look at myself and say, you don't need to buy anything right now. You don't need to spend thousands of bucks on a graphics card.
Right. Yeah.
But you go ahead.
That's funny that wasn't you. I was thinking that was for you. Because he asked me, he's like, yeah, I have a buddy in Morgantown that needs a GPU. I'm like, wait, this story actually matches up perfectly.
Okay. No, I was running graphics card resale out of my freshman year dorm. I actually had a room check one time. We had a guy move out, no fourth roommate, so I was using that room to like hoard all my stuff, and they gave us a notice that says you can't do this. Got in trouble for it. But
that's hilarious. That's fun.
Yeah, back to the original question. I just did very small PS5 graphics card, small scale. Again, I was making probably $50 to $100. This was like, I was not hitting anything in the very peak demand. I was making like $100 per PS5. I wasn't selling them for $1,000. I wish I would have, but I'm using my mom's credit card, paying her back every month. So again, yeah, if I didn't sell like one graphics card, then I was extremely screwed.
Yeah.
I just looked for something more sustainable after that. I was in card brokers since I knew Zach. We just kind of, we talked here and there. It's in card brokers, friends and family. Don't know how I met Jyles, but actually, yeah, I knew he was admin, I knew he was staff. Couldn't tell you how we connected, but I ended up joining his group in late October of last year, and yeah, the rest is history.
Well, we provided for Profit Lounge too, which you were paying for, right? And I mean, I saw you were in there as well, so that could have been another way. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, Jyles is providing for Profit Lounge. I don't know, that might be another way, but it's kind of weird because we didn't know each other, and we're basically from the same area, about 45 minutes.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah. And
Down where we're from.
WVU is the Staple College of West Virginia, and that's where Mike was going. And I was living there, and then I'm there every weekend due to my girlfriend. So it's kind of weird how everything kind of worked out. And now Michael's helping me out with Jyles FBA, and he has been for the past year. So
Could have sworn you guys knew each other, man. That's my first time. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I didn't know until a few minutes ago when you said it that you guys knew each other.
Yeah.
Jyles just told me one day, hey, bringing on a marketing guy. Like, sweet. I didn't know you played Fortnite together.
Yeah. No, we go way back. You know what I'm saying? But
that's the power right there of connection. That's crazy because even when you go back to like the Fortnite days, you'd think, oh, all those kids are useless now. I mean, there's many people, designers, editors, dude, that I still hit up. Hey, help me out with this. Do this. Can you do that? I have a project. Can you help me out with that? And you'd be amazed with how many kids back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, that were like, oh, dude, yeah, I got you. Like, just looking for small jobs, whether it's designing. Yeah. But, like, for example, where Jyles
started a side hustle
back from Fortnite. So, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, connections are huge. I saw a reel that said, people were pumping Fortnite back in the day, and now they're pumping weights, which not everyone's doing that. But I got the message from that is like a lot of people from those days are doing stuff. Like, I played Fortnite with you, and I got a group chat full of people that are all doing cool stuff. Obviously, one of my clients right now for my business is you. I mean, I played Fortnite with you. I mean, it's crazy what connections can do, and it definitely helped start you guys out for sure, and it helps Jyles FBA Thrive connections, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. And I wouldn't have met Jyles had it not been for a freaking nerd camp I attended in 8th grade. I met Zach, and then somehow 4 years later I came in touch with Jyles.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy how everything works out. I mean, people always say it's about who you know, not what you know. And that's the staple of life. I've been rocking with that ever since I was even young. So, never burn bridges out there. You never know here in 5-10 years if that guy, you need to ask him to do a project for you or ask him for an interview for a job or a recommendation or whatever it may be.
Yeah. The kids that were playing around a few years ago doing their random things, well, we're in the driver's seat now. So, like, stuff like Jyles FBA, I mean, that stuff's crazy. Getting together, providing each other leads, helping each other out, and building wealth up here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. To touch on that too, a lot of people are asking or would think, okay, yeah, there's 100 people in the group. You guys are providing leads. Why aren't these leads getting saturated? Blah, blah, blah. If I find a lead, I want to keep it to myself. It's always good to build connections with other sellers, especially on the same like playing field as you, I guess. And share leads around, share knowledge. Iron sharpens iron. So, yeah.
Right. I'd be curious. Rarely have I heard logistics about, how you would have a person that has nothing to start Amazon FBA. Like, what kind of capital would you want from a person to start Amazon FBA before they think about getting into it?
Michael, you want to touch on that?
Yeah. I mean, I started with, couldn't tell you the exact number, but whatever I had in my bank account at the time, to be able to pay my mom's credit card off, probably $750 to $1,000. again, college student, didn't have a job. I wasn't working at the time. Whatever I made was from graphics cards and chores, like when I was a kid. So I know I started with under $1,000, a little more than 500. Keepa, actually didn't get Keepa for a few months. That was a large mistake. But Seller Amp, Amazon selling $40 a month, Seller Amp 30. It took me a week before I had to upgrade to unlimited on Seller Amp, which was price increase from $20 to $30. So all in all, my expenses were $70 plus whatever inventory I could find. And like I said, I just really went for the most profitable. This was Q4, so like it's a great time to start. Just as good as any, really, but a lot easier to find leads. Jyles taught me how to source. Bought up inventory. I did a little FBM, but didn't know how to ship stuff for the most part. Well, like I knew how to ship stuff, didn't know how to prep for FBA.
Yeah.
So I really just started with some FBM, and then I realized I don't want to do this 4 hours a day because I hate packing. Like if I can outsource that, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Kind of just turned over inventory here and there until March, and then I got my first prep center in a tax-free state, which was amazing because big thing was Stanley's. 6% tax on them was $2 to $3. Meanwhile, I was paying them $1.50 a unit to prep for me, so I was saving money. Again, still almost no capital, just reinvesting everything. So when those bills came from prep centers, I was like, oh geez, like this adds up quick. But finally, I started seeing some good cash flow, better cash flow, and say good. Some lower margins, April to May, where again, big Stanley's, a lot of cash back, but net profit was like $2,000 probably on 25,000 in sales. So other than that, yeah, I mean, since then it's been pretty smooth sailing, but figuring out those mistakes, just like any other business, is what really helps you excel.
Yeah. Run me through, this is a business and you are going to have, monthly software expenses. Run me through exactly what you get every month to operate your Amazon FBA business.
All right. So, seller account, I believe, is $41.99, $42. We'll say 40. Keepa shows price history, product data, buy box statistics, who shares it, stuff like that. It is $20 a month. Seller Amp, $30 a month for unlimited, which you probably need after like 2 months. Goes by fast. Didn't have a repricer until April. I got Seller Snap, best one on the market, hands down. It was $250 a month, $225 with actually Jyles' discount. And then just last month it up to $500 since I crossed an average threshold of, I don't remember what the exact number was, but anyway, they make you upgrade.
Yeah, right. It's 50,000 plus sales in a month, and you get upgraded to 500.
Right. Well, it's an average.
Average,
like past 6 months, something like that. But yeah, so 530, 550, 590, all in all, under 600 in expenses every month. And plus software for my prep center actually is 42. They use 2D workflow to create my shipments, but they have a really great per unit rate, so that kind of evens out.
Yeah. For the scale you're doing it at, that's super good. But like for a person that just starts out, it's like even less than that, pretty significantly.
Right. You don't need a repricer when you just start out.
No.
Keepa, Seller. I mean, Keepa is even, you can put it off. I mean, I did, because Seller Amp does have a 3-month, year, or all chart, but it doesn't give you as much data as you really need.
Yeah.
But Seller Amp, definitely selling account. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Right there's, I mean, $70 a month with Keepa, all in all under $100 a month for everything, and it's just a few $100 for inventory.
Right.
And golden.
Right. And enlighten me, a seller account, you're talking Amazon. To sell through Amazon, you need to pay that $40 a month to be able to do that. Okay.
Right.
So when we're talking to a newbie here, it's like, You need capital. You need to be able to tank these expenses for a few months while you're learning. And then you need some extra money to be able to actually buy the product. It does not take that much money to incur that.
Right.
Realistically, you said $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, under that even. I mean, I personally leveraged credit. It's a lot harder to do leveraging credit and reinvesting than just say starting with $50K in the bank, because yeah, you are going to have better margins. You are going to have lower risk items, but the power of reinvesting is just so large that,
right.
I mean, again, like I said, started with under 1,000, did 70K in sales, but if I started at 50K, who knows where I'd be now.
Yeah, it's all about your comfort level. Like, probably more like me, I wouldn't love leveraging credit. Maybe as I do it, I'd love it a little more. But if you have confidence in the process, like, leveraging credit isn't the worst thing ever, you know? So
Right. I mean, anything can happen. Like, I could be deactivated tomorrow and have a lot of bills to pay, but for the most part, especially with online arbitrage, can return everything I have to stores, get refunded that money, stuff like that. It's, as a business goes, it's pretty minimal risk. If you're doing stuff by the books, you're not selling inauthentic items, you're not listing under the wrong listing. Generic brands has been big recently, Section 3 too.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, I mean, if you know what to look for and you are keeping up with even just Twitter, that you're going to be able to steer clear of most problems within this space.
Yeah. How far in did you really, I would assume, I know Jyles has obviously a filed business. I would assume you do too. How long did it take you to get that process done of filing a business and being able to track expenses and stuff like that so that you're all legal and compliant and stuff?
Right.
You know, and love. God bless the USA, baby.
I actually did that at the start of the year. So 2 months in, not even that. January 19th, I think, is when I formed my LLC. And in our state, it is dirt cheap for anyone who was under 21, which I was at the time. I think it was $30 a year. Yeah. So, granted, it could be different for people. And I know California is like a few grand. But at the time, $30 was nothing even for me. But that was kind of a no-brainer. And then I opened my first credit card ever, actually. Well, but for my student Discover card. My first credit card was open of November of last year. And then first business card in March or April of this year. Again, even keeping high balances, kind of just leveraging credit. Like, I'm a terrible credit user, but I still have a score of over 700, which really surprises me because I just don't know how. With a credit history of just over a year, balances 20 to 25K at any given time.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. They have to hate me, but I get off on time, so.
Yeah, a little bit of a tangent, but a recommended credit utilization if you're trying to make your score better is around like 30%. So you're only using 30% of your max. I believe you probably don't do that. You probably blow right.
The Plum doesn't have a max; it's a charge card. But when they tell me I'm coming up on declined transactions in the near future, that's when it's like, oh, okay, I should probably make a payment.
Yeah. Have you guys ever ran your business without a cook group? Meaning Jyles, FBA, like those type of groups. Have you ever done the business without one of those?
That's actually kind of funny. There's a guy that we recently brought on for the wholesale section of Jyles FBA, probably 2.5, 3 months ago. And he has never been in the cook group space until he joined Jyles FBA like a year ago. So from his knowledge, the only like cook group was Jyles FBA. And I kind of opened his eyes to like all these other cook groups. That there's certain cook groups for, let's say, tickets, or certain cook groups for Amazon, which is us, or certain cook groups for shoes. And there's just all this information out there that you can pay. There's betting and sports gambling cook groups. There's like all this information that you pay X amount per month, and you just get I mean, insane amount of value from what I see from also being in a ton of other groups for providing Amazon information to them. The value's always there for most of these groups. But yeah, you were saying, yeah, I started out with wholesale, which is a completely different, completely different model from online arbitrage, but he was just cold calling distributions. And basically, whenever he joined Jyles FBA, he dove into the OA and RA model, which he was completely unfamiliar with, but he was almost a master at wholesale already, because I guess that's what he came across first, and that's what he thought Amazon was, like all of Amazon was. So it was kind of cool to hear him talk about how he started with wholesale and then transitioned onto OA and RA as well through Jyles FBA Cook Group. So yeah, I personally don't have any experience. It's just hard whenever there's with Amazon, let's say, we post 15 plus leads a day, and even if you're not using those leads on the day to day, going back and scrolling back 2 months and finding the leads that are still profitable, or just even we have a clearance sales channel and we post all the clearance sales. So say Nike's doing the 60% off, we post that. Say Walmart's doing 75% off, or say Walgreens has a buy one get one BOGO, or a BOGO sale. Just like all those clearance even make it worth Walgreens has BOGO, I'm gonna go manual source that, and I may not have known about that if I wasn't in this group.
So, I agree.
Right.
There's so much information in the space. If someone, like for me example, if I wasn't getting, or if someone wasn't paying me to post this stuff, like I wouldn't find it on my own, because there's you can check your spam email, look for the clearance sales, what you get, signing up for newsletters, but it's a ridiculous amount of stuff that happens on a day to day. Like I don't think I would have known about the Stanley drop yesterday. Probably not.
Yeah.
I know every cook group posted about it, but was it on Twitter? No.
Exactly.
Stanley emailed it to me. It went to my spam. I didn't see it. So stuff like that, little stuff. And I know, like right when I first started out, I didn't know how to make, I had no clue how to make an Amazon shipment. I didn't know what an FN SKU was. So those simple questions that I got answered, like on a daily basis, really skyrocketed. I know Amazon has seller forums. They're like basically useless. Anything that we are asked in Jyles FBA, I'll like type it into Google sometimes because it might be a dumb question. I look it up. There's no answer. So how are people supposed to learn anything outside of YouTube Shorts, free content, stuff like that, if not even Amazon sellers know the answers?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Let's dive a little bit into that Stanley drop yesterday, just so we can hit on that. For anyone that missed it, Lainey Wilson did her second collab with Stanley, where they dropped a gold Stanley limited edition yesterday at noon, and we obviously posted about it. Members cooked hundreds. They're going for $100 plus, retail $55. So also in Jyles FBA, we don't only do Amazon related stuff. We do low key cooks as well. Just anything profitable, eBay flips, all that good stuff. And then there was also a restock today, actually, that a lot of the members had on. Yesterday, they were in stock for 30-ish minutes. The restock today, they were probably in stock for 15-ish minutes. And we obviously notified members and told them to buy as many as possible, which they did. And they're going to make hundreds, thousands of dollars from that. So here's another way. If you do want to build your capital outside of Amazon, say you don't want to pitch $100 a month to all the Amazon softwares, then just the general reselling information can build your capital from limited edition Stanleys, shoes. Today we also posted Taylor Swift Snow Globe, a limited edition snow globe. Buy for $50, sell for $125, $150. They sold out within 30 minutes probably. Members bought anywhere between probably 5 and 10 of them.
I got 10.
Yeah, I mean, they're selling for $125, $150. I mean, that's an easy double up after fees and shipping and all that good stuff. So there's so many opportunities that we post on the day-to-day. It's hard to even catch them all almost. And we, of course, ping for all of them, and we try to prepare the members as best as possible, but it's just impossible when there's so many different ways to make money reselling these limited edition products, or it just whatever it is. I was even telling people are concerned about, these Stanleys have so much stock. The Lainey Wilson Gold Stanleys have so much stock on Stanley. I'm like, dude, we've been flipping Stanleys that are still in stock on Stanley's website to Amazon for months, for over a year. There's legit millions of these Stanley Cups out there, and we're still flipping them for profit on Stanley, and you're worried about a limited edition Lainey Wilson Stanley that has proven 2 months earlier to go from $55 to $300. Like, it's unreal. So yeah, there's my
on top of that, it's like just the little things like that $20 profit on that $55 buy. We'll say 60 after shipping. That's 33% ROI. And the volume, eBay, as of today when I looked at like noon, pretty sure 20 or 25 were sold already. So if you're selling 10 a day at $20 profit, it's a ridiculous amount of profit. But since it's a limited release and it's not a crazy number, it's not 50 to 300, people are like scared about it. For what reason? If it was an Amazon lead, you'd buy it.
Exactly.
So like, what's the difference in tying up your capital for something just as good that will sell faster?
And when this Amazon listing drops, I guarantee you it's going to be higher than eBay, like we saw with the last Lainey Wilson watermelon Stanley. So I am personally, all the units I got, I'm holding out on. I'm going to hold for at least a month. I can see these doing 150 plus, even going 200. Like I said, the old watermelons are up to 300 on Amazon right now. And the gold ones are way better looking than the watermelon ones too. So, that's the Lainey Wilson Golds. It's a very simple drop. Like I said, they're in stock for 30 minutes yesterday. If you can't hit manual with that, we also had ACO running, meaning you give this guy who runs a bot your information, and they will automatically check out units for you. Kind of sounds sketch if you're not in the space. We obviously both vouch for this guy. I know this guy. But yeah.
So just looking at this chart real quick. As of the 13th, or late October through 2 days ago, the watermelon Lainey Wilson Stanley was doing around 225. Few sellers just dropped off. It went from 9 to 6 as of yesterday. Price just hit 350. The 426% ROI after FBA fees.
And the other game, we posted about those when they dropped, like I said, 2-3 months ago, maybe even longer.
July.
July. And members were selling for
200.
Members were selling for like 100, 125 on eBay, and they're ecstatic that they even sold them for that. And then now to look back and be like, dang, I kind of sold. But at the same time, I'm always the guy who's like, take your profit and run. Like, you never lose with profit, and you can reinvest it, as Michael's been preaching the entire time as well.
Right. The more sales I do, the more capital I'm working with, the more I feel safe about holding something like this. I wouldn't have done it 10 months ago, but now it's like you can actually make those plays working with enough capital. Buy Legos to hold, buy a Stanley to hold, anything. Hold out on your lost, and you think inventory is lost out on. Again, it's Q4, like everything's ramping up. I know stuff hasn't moved since like July for me. I'm not eating a bunch in storage fees. Hold out for Q4, and all of a sudden, okay, I sold all 10 in a day. It's just ridiculous. The ways you can make money, especially if you have the capital to make different plays on certain items.
All right. Crazy. It's from afar, this industry is just funny. Like a bunch of mature dudes freaking out about Taylor Swift and snow globes and 2 Lainey Wilson Stanleys. Like, from afar, you're like, what the heck are these guys up about? When you know what's going on behind the scenes, you're like, I'm about it, dude. I love it.
Yeah. It's not just the Taylor Swifts and the Lainey Wilsons. We do, like I said, on Amazon, we're selling name brand. Yeah, Kachaba, Nike. There's people that from my hometown that has ordered from Amazon from my store, which is insane to think about, which they'll never know it's me because obviously it's under a third party name and it's from Amazon and all that stuff. So it's just like crazy to think about.
And 90% of people don't know that like third party selling is even a thing on Amazon.
Right.
They see Prime shipping and it's okay, it's sold by Amazon.
Right.
They don't have a care in the world. They're paying double what we did for 1 day faster shipping than say from Walmart.
And it's not even that. It's the ability to put toilet paper in my cart along with Barbie. Like you can't just like, I don't know. You can just put all these random products in your cart and they show up the next day. Like Amazon's just unmatched compared to any other retailer right now.
Yeah, like you said, like no one knows about Amazon third party. It's what I think is so cool about this hustle. And yeah, there's resources out there and there's big cook groups and whatever, but like it's still a relatively young thing. Like I try to look up stuff to see other people making content like us and stuff like that. There's just not that much out there, you know what I'm saying? You guys keep saying everyone can take a slice, and it's true. It's very young.
Yeah, I don't know the exact stat, but if you look up how many units third-party sellers sold in, let's say, 2023 or 2022, you will be amazed. And it's like, yeah, like everyone can have a piece of the pie. And you might just think I'm saying that because I own a cook group or whatnot, but it's the truth. It's actually unreal.
38% of third-party sellers are based in the U.S. Approximately 2.5 million active third-party sellers. More than 50% of units sold on Amazon come from third-party sellers.
Does it say how many units in like 2022?
I know. So if it's over 50% of units or revenue, then
oh yeah, just
global net revenue of Amazon third-party sellers amounted to $64 billion in 2019.
There you go. That's
so
2019. That's 4 years ago.
Double that now.
It's insane to think about. And to think about like, and you'll even get like returns. We never hit on returns, but obviously you're going to get returns. And like people will send back, let's talk about like the bad sides of Amazon where you sell a Keurig and someone sends back a brick. Like it's happened before. Not to me, but it's happened to other people. And you have to fight that with Amazon, how the seller's trying to like screw you over. The seller thinks they're screwing over Amazon, but in the end, they're screwing over a guy like Mike.
Small business. Yeah.
Which sucks because they don't do that. They think they're screwing over a multi-billion-dollar business. But yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy how people, I don't know. Amazon's just unmatched, dude. It really is.
Also not, I mean, it definitely could be worse. You know, selling name brand products. It's like Stanley's, for example. I got a Keurig return last year. One of the first few things I sold marked as unfulfillable. It was opened, so I couldn't really send it back in as new. Gave it to my girlfriend, worked like a charm.
There you go.
I'm guessing their outlet didn't work because they said it didn't work. But stuff like that, Stanley's, they're gifts for Christmas. It's like anything, you know, I'm gonna donate my junk pile to a local toy shelter or toy drive or something like that and write it off because that's what you can do. It's just so hard to lose money, really. Like, yeah, people bleed money out of an Amazon business if, you know, you get a charge that was canceled, but the charge sticks, stuff like that. But there's so many software, seller investigators, stuff like that, that makes it so easy to keep track of everything. It's, you know, if you do that, if you're organized, it's extremely easy to make money.
Right. Let's kind of transition into Isaac. Pros and cons of owning your own business. I know you obviously own your own business. I'm obviously one of your clients. What are the pros and cons of writing off your miles, writing off your, let's say, new PC or monitors that you can't do with a normal 9-to-5? Like if you're just getting that 9-to-5 paycheck, that 30% is going straight out and you're just getting your cut and you have to go and make that purchase.
Yeah, you know, the cool thing about owning your own business or even attempting to own your own business, obviously I'm doing fine, but some people don't do fine, you know, it's a hard thing to do well at. you start seeing the world from a very different but very necessary point of view, and you learn to problem solve a lot more. You might have thousands of dollars to your name, but you feel like 10 million bucks once you understand like how to form a business, how to do taxes. Like, it's all very, very necessary stuff. So like, what I think's cool, obviously I've never dove into it, but I think it's cool how quick, with little skill and very little capital, you can get into Amazon. Comparing what you guys pay per month to what I pay per month to do my own business, it's a fraction. You know what I mean? It's a very easy thing to do. But just being able to write stuff off is nice. Like, I talk to friends that are trying to start up their own businesses, sole proprietors, and they're talking about how they're going to be spending money on gear that they need to do work. Just like out of pocket money. And they're like, oh no, I got to buy this. Like, this is going to drain me deep. And I'm like, dude, I got to spend.
Business card.
Yeah, I'm like, it's November 15th. I'm like, shoot, dude, I have thousands of dollars I need to spend by the end of the year. I mean, it's just having the mindset toward it. It's so nice. So just being able to utilize that and understand that as well. And even if your business doesn't work out, like, just being able to form your documents, have something under your name, being able to know how to put in your taxes, it's a very valuable thing, and it's a very easy thing. All it does, you got to take one step at a time. I do content creation and social media stuff. You do Amazon FBA. How did we get there? We saw one problem at a time and we solved them over and over again. That's how business works. We do two very different things, but it's one very similar looking process.
And services meet demand.
Yes.
And Isaac and I have hit on this before, but like you said, problem solving, it's huge in any aspect of your life, especially business. It's a lot different from going into a 9 to 5 and saying, okay, you're doing this for 8 hours straight, or here's X, Y, and Z. Do steps through 1 to 5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, owning your own business, you're always transitioning and pivoting and trying to find the next big thing, or let's. It's a lot of trial and error. I mean, like I discussed, I've tried hundreds of different businesses, not actually, but probably like 10 to 15 different businesses before Amazon or Jyles FBA or anything in this space, and I failed over and over and over again. A lot of it revolved around social media, content creation, all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know, pivoting, transitions, all that good stuff. They don't teach you this stuff in school. They want you to be a 9 to 5 robot, which is fine. I mean, you can live comfortably.
Yeah.
Cut that.
I'm definitely not cutting that.
No, cut that. Someone take over.
It's quite ironic you say that. My entrepreneurship class right now is the only one that talks about how problem solving is huge. Another guy that teaches my MIS class actually worked on Wall Street, kind of climbed the corporate ladder per se, and then said F it and like went back to teaching because, you know, he made a bunch of money, invested well. He's basically set for life, and he knows that problem solving and simply stuff like that, finding the next solution to a problem is what's going to get you through life. With that, just recently, like just last night, for example, I was at my weekly meeting, and he was our spokesperson talking about that. My entrepreneurship class, problem solving, creativity, thinking outside the box. Really just being able to find a niche and get good at it and provide for other people. Anything useful to other people will be in demand and make you money. Jyles was probably the guy that sold candy in 4th grade.
I was
Out of his backpack.
I was not, but I should have been. I've set up countless lemonade stands back in my day, though. So I was that guy.
Hair bracelets.
Hey, nice.
I made them myself.
Okay. This is what I would actually do. This was a hustle back in 6th grade, and if you guys are around my age, like Michael and Isaac, you might remember Mad Mobile, right?
Oh yeah.
They would have.
I just downloaded it yesterday. I pulled Dak Prescott out of a pack today. I'm hyped on the Mad Mobile.
Okay, listen to this hustle. Like, this is how you know I've been hustling since I was young.
Yeah.
I made a Madden Mobile Instagram, okay? And essentially what I would do is there's an auction house, right? And every like 5 or 10 minutes, the auction house would like refresh. Okay, so say I'm posting a player for X amount on the auction house so people can buy it for coins, and I would sell the card, and then I would get coins or whatever, right? So basically what I'd do every 5 or 10 minutes in class, I'd sneak my phone, I'd refresh. I would have these different filters, me and my friend Dustin. I'm still friends with Dustin to this day. We'd have these different filters. Anyways, these filters would pick up on cards that people mispriced. So say it's a gold card, and they say it's 200 coins. Yeah, no, I'm being for real. Say it was like 200 coins, and they accidentally priced it for 20 coins. I would have a filter where I'd refresh. I would cop all the gold cards that were mispriced, and I'd resell them back to the market for what they actually were meant to be priced for. And I'd get those coins, and I'd sell those coins for real money via PayPal. Like, that's how you know it's hustling. That's how
600.
Dude, I probably
First price error.
I want to say like $300 to $400 in like 6th grade, grinding that Madden Mobile 5 to 10 minutes, refresh, cop that gold card of Bo Jackson or whatever, and dude, I'd sell it, and then I'd sell the coins via Instagram DMs. People would try to scam me. No, scammer gets scammed, and yeah, but I was hustling Madden Mobile.
Yeah, you had 6 people at your lunch table, all your boys, and they're all playing the game and throwing dots and roaming out of the pocket and hitting zones. And then we got Jyles and refresh. Give me my money.
My entire team was like all bronze. Like, I legit had like a 57 overall or 63 or whatever the lowest was, because I didn't care about my team. I cared about sniping these cards and then reselling them on the marketplace and selling the coins for real money. Like, like that's just how it was. I don't know.
As you should, dude. All right, compare all your models you've tried. You know, you've been through all the failures or whatever. Like, and I've never even done Amazon, but I could say that how easy is just Amazon to start for a person that's never started a business before?
It's easy, dude, especially if you're in Jyles FBA. Like, we're offering a free trial right now, 7 days. Hit me up on any social media. We'll slide you the free trial. We have guides for everything for setting it up. There's actually one of my card buddies hit me up today. We're getting him going on Amazon. But yeah, essentially all you have to do is sign up for a seller account. And then once you cross over $10,000 in sales, you're going to need seller's insurance. So that means you need an LLC. So you'll make an LLC through your state. You'll get seller's insurance, which is usually $400 to $600 a year. Not that pricey for insurance.
I'm paying $580, yeah.
There we go.
Right at that.
So, yeah, it's super simple. Most people fail because they don't even start, or they'll start and they don't like to problem solve, as we hit on a million times. They'll run into a simple question. How do I do this? And I don't know. Say they don't get an answer within a simple Google search, or say they're not in Jyles FBA, where they can ask like any type of question like that, and they just like remotely give up and go back to their way of life, which is fine. I mean, it's not built for everyone.
Nope.
But
yeah. From afar, it can seem to anyone. I can see why it can seem like a pretty strenuous process. I mean, you just spit out a pretty big process, but when you really look into it, and you are around you guys like your cook group and being in there, you can ask stupid questions every step of the way. Waste some of Michael's time. It's not wasted. You're happy to.
No, I'm literally I'm paid to answer these questions. Like, I know I said this earlier, but I don't think any question is stupid, because at this point last year, I was asking Jyles what an FNSQ label was, and I was asking Jyles if I could, like, how to find a label printer, how to set up a label printer, because I just bought one for $50 or $90, whatever it was. Like, we've all been there. So,
right.
I mean, the best time to start's now. But
the more I grow, the more I realize, hey, we're all kind of stupid when you really look at it. But all right, Jyles, I'm gonna be a hater. You better have your elevator pitch ready.
Let's hear it.
Jyles, you're getting at least $10 a month from people, $70 for some people, I can go and create a Discord for free and invite people in for free and do the same thing as you. What the heck do you offer to make you better?
It's quite frankly just not going to be the same value that Jyles FBA brings, simply because I pitch out thousands of dollars a month to people like Michael to find leads, people that aren't even in the Amazon FBA space. We have webinars in there. We have sports betting in there. Basically, you're just essentially not going to get the same value from a free server that you're going to get in Jyles FBA.
Retail monitors.
Retail monitors, there's another example. To do this on the scale that Jyles FBA is doing it at for free, I mean, that person would have to be bringing in a shitload of money. To do it on that scale. So the main thing is value, and within closed communities, people find that value. If it's a free server, anyone can really get in. Maybe that premium chat won't be as valuable because it's just going to be people trolling and goofing off in the premium chat rather than talking about I don't know, leads or general questions that come up, stuff like that. So basically, you're paying that $75 to invest in yourself. If I just join a free server, I could take days and months and like never even take a look at it. If I'm paying $75 a month, I'm gonna look at that at least a few times a week, maybe once a day. Maybe I'll be on there every like a few hours a day. So I don't know. I feel like just the value is what separates Jyles FBA from a free group. And Michael,
I mean, let's just touch on the Pikachu. We're gonna need to talk about that anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I got what, 4? Yeah, I mean, I got 5, sent 4 in. So 5 promo cards. For the those of you that don't know, it was Pikachu times Van Gogh promotional cards on Pokemon Center. Actually, this might be a little bit of a winder because there's a lot involved with this.
Right.
But Jyles posted it. I mean, they restocked a couple times. I was able to get 5 and 3 for 8 total. I was in them for literally $0 because whatever I bought them with was also a flip. I made a double up on it, whatever it was. Same for, I accidentally bought something I thought came with the cards. It was a wall art canvas of a Sunflora Pokemon for $50 a pop, and I sold them anywhere from 100 to 130. Accidentally made money there. Like, it was a crazy story. But
if you join FBA, you'll accidentally make money. Is that what he's saying?
Not exactly. Like, that's the one time it's worked out. But like, just limited stuff like this, people go crazy over. Those cards just popped at PSA. I'm in them for, granted, I've already made $10-15 a pop on the 3 plushes that they came with. So I'm in them for negative $45. I paid $70 a pop in grading fees for like under a week turnaround time. That's $235 all in. PSA 10s are doing $500 a pop right now, and 4 out of the 4 that I got sent in all gemmed. So that's right there. That's very conservatively $1,500 profit. You do that every month. That's an extra 18 grand in your pocket a year.
Wait, let me show you
something like that.
Dang. You can't hear us right now.
Yeah, we can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, if you're 110. Sorry, I had to. Cool.
That's your egg.
Dang. That's the boy right there.
But yeah, essentially, to answer your question, let's get this camera back.
Yeah, get back here. Come on, bro.
You didn't have your headset on, but I was clowning you for the 110.
The 110?
The 110.
There we go. So yeah, to answer your question, no one in their right mind will provide the knowledge we provide at Jyles FBA for free. No one in their right mind will provide that for 10, 20, 30, 40, or even $50 in my mind. So yeah, basically people join, and we kind of had to dumb down the server even more because people would join and be like, this is overwhelming. It's too much. So we kind of had to consolidate, delete some channels, and dumb it down even more because especially if people aren't familiar with Discord, it definitely can be overwhelming when you see 150 channels and you're like, oh, what's this? What's that? What's this? Like it can definitely take some time to get used to. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Isaac.
And I mean, on top of that, like, so I joined Jyles like basically a year ago today, we'll call it. We were at 40 paying members, something like that. And I know you mentioned like the 6 months before that was not any better. Like, you actually had just grown quite a bit when I joined. So, and you started this in May of 22, if I remember correctly. It just shows like June. Yeah, so you put in 5 to 6 months of hours a day trying to grow this business, trying to provide value.
All right.
And then finally it obviously paid off, and like there's no one doing that for free. You're not wasting 8 hours a day to grow a business that you're not going to make anything off of. You're not going to have any members, like, I don't know, even sharing their leads with you because they're trying to provide some value back to you. Stuff like that.
Then when it did start paying off, he decided to bring on someone and add another thing for the chat. So now it's back to barely paying off again.
Right. So to kind of hit on Michael's saying, if you're starting something from scratch, it's really hard to get people to buy in or join, even if it is free. And which, when I started, it was a free server and I converted it to paid. So that's kind of how it started. But like, for instance, you see all these brands, like, for example, if you take Prime, if Prime didn't have KSI or Logan Paul backing it, Prime would not be as big as it is,
Right.
even on the shelves today.
People would still just drink Gatorade per pound.
Exactly. So like,
Wouldn't be a thing.
I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but essentially, if you have a following already, it's easier to convert it to some sort of paid subscription-based service or product rather than just like starting it from scratch. But yeah. To hit on Michael's, this time last year, we did a November 1st promo. So it was $1 and we capped it at 25 people. We somehow got 25 people to join for $1, which is unreal. Before that, we had 14 paying members. So that boosted us up to 39 paying members. And then kind of Q4 this month and next month of last year, kind of got more people, it got more eyes on the server and like, oh, this server is actually providing good value. I'm making $75 back in a day. Like, why would I not pay that price? Yeah. So
how many people contribute, like, staff wise, to Jyles FBA every month?
Probably, yeah, around 15. Now you might think 15, that's a lot of people. Like, how are you affording this? Some people I only pay $50, other people I pay up to $2,000 a month. So there's kind of a wide range, kind of depending on what your service is to Jyles FBA. If it's just providing sports picks or webinar links, or is it sourcing 3 leads a day and posting that? So it kind of depends. But yeah, we have a full team of 15 contracted individuals. Like, for instance, yourself, you're included in that. You obviously don't help out with customer support. You obviously do the social media. A graphic designer's included in that 15. He obviously does graphic design for success posts, for social media posts, all that good stuff. So like, relatively speaking to the Discord server, like customer support, paid contract employees, probably around 6 to like 8.
Yeah. Yeah. This ain't no one man team. You know, it's a whole operation.
Right.
How would you do you give out 7-day free trials pretty sparingly for someone that's interested? I could be wrong.
So yes, we started tossing out 7-day free trials recently. Especially since I wanted to do a November like promo like we did last year. I just simply couldn't fetch out the money to do a $1 free promo like we did last year. Essentially what I did last year was there's only 14 paying members. So I gave everyone that was paying a free month. So I sacrificed all that revenue. And then everyone that joined for $1 obviously got the month for $1. So I didn't want anyone that was paying to like get like scammed or finessed. You know what I mean? So I had to give them a free month. So if I were to do that again this year, I would have been missing out on a ton of capital, and I would have been at a complete loss for the month.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess, if it made sense, but I didn't feel like it made sense. I felt like it was a better decision just to do a free trial to anyone that really wants it in the month of November.
Right.
It's the perfect time to join in. If you're just starting, it's perfect. Here's a free week, not a free month, my bad, a free week. And then if you like it, you
They take advantage of that, then they'll stick with it. They'll make money. If not, oh well. I mean, your loss.
Yeah, I mean, there's many people that join for a month, and then, like I said, they don't know how to work Discord, or they just don't look at it because they're too busy with their 9 to 5 or whatever. That happens, but I would say the success rate of people joining and staying with it and paying monthly, because we're providing that value through these low-key flips, through Amazon flips, through 24/7 Amazon support, through our guides, through all that stuff I mentioned, monitors. We have so many things to offer. A lot of the times that does convert into a monthly subscription, which is obviously all great and dandy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first hump for someone that joins is obviously you got to learn what the server is all about. You got to look at it right away, and you got to get to the get books and just make sure you know what's going on, because then you can make a decision. Is this right for me? Am I able to do this, or should I do it? But if you don't even look, you're not going to know.
Yeah, the amount of knowledge in the get books that people don't read is wild. We will get, multiple questions on a daily basis that are there. If people would just take that 10, 15 minutes to look it over, half their questions would be answered, and they wouldn't have to spend all the time trying to find an answer or trying to solve a problem that's already like right in front of you.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I have like one last thing that I'd like to touch on. We have said Q4 for the last few months. What is Q4, and why is it so freaking good for Amazon sellers?
Yeah.
Like, dumb it down big time.
Very, very, very simple concept here. There's a few words. Black Friday. That's one of the few words. Obviously, all these retailers go on sale. They mark their stuff down 50%, 60%, 80%, whatever it may be. This is where you can buy. So what I've been doing even the past few months is building up that capital to be ready to buy next week, which is Black Friday week, Cyber Monday, all that stuff. We've already been seeing good deals throughout the week. Like Walmart, they did an early Black Friday. Kohl's, they did an early Black Friday.
Target had a great...
Target had some early Black Fridays. There's already all these sales. Throughout the year, yes, there'll be some clearance sales and stuff of that nature, but during this month right here is where it gets like serious. This is where you can spend
like big retailers liquidating inventory.
Exactly. So basically, all these retailers go on sale, right? And it's the rush for Christmas. So all the consumers are buying off Amazon. Anything giftable, toys, clothing, shoes, legit anything giftable, they're buying off Amazon. So right there, the demand will go up, and basically the price will go up because the supply will go down. So, say there's a listing with 20 sellers on it and it's selling 500 times a month in October. Well, maybe in November and December, it'll go up to 2,000 sales a month and sellers will drop to 5. That means the price is going to skyrocket to that 2x, 1.5x, whatever it may be. So it's a simple supply and demand. There's more demand for giftables now because of Christmas. And basically the supply is down just simply because no one's really like, I guess you can prepare all you want, but it's almost like you can't like get enough inventory to sell to the consumers, if that kind of makes sense. I kind of worded that really badly, but and also like cashback. We kind of hit on cashback in previous podcasts, but I know last year Rakuten did 20 or 25% on Nike cashback, which is unreal. Like you're buying stuff essentially at 25% off, and then they have 60% off that. So you're just getting absolute steals on these products.
Yeah. I mean, what a concept that I saw was cool from the outside. You can buy product, make 0 margins, but you still have Rakuten and Top Cash, which is an external cashback thing, and then you have your credit card points, and you just resell them back, and you still make money.
Yep.
Now, if you actually get those products for a margin, that's even better, and all that stuff adds on top of it. It's like you keep saying you can't lose, and it's because you can't lose. And obviously, any of those cashback things like credit card points aren't taxable. So once you form that good old LLC, you'll enjoy that statement a little bit more. Yeah.
Michael, you have anything to add to that?
I mean, just another, like, for example, I bought, quantity limit was 4 of one certain thing. It showed 200 sales a month. Hold on, we're gonna pull it up because I'm actually quite curious. So, like, just an example of something giftable. I sold 4 of these in 36 minutes. Now Amazon has this real-time data, actually, kind of like Keepa, that shows you how many bought in the past month. 1,000 plus bought in the last month. Keepa's up to, or Seller Imp says 484, which on an average day, that'd give me, 2 sales in a day between 30 sellers. So yeah,
Right.
somewhere around there. I sold all 4 in 38 minutes. Sellers dropped from 14 just to 11 in a day. Price went from $65 to $75. Nobody can hold stock. Like, almost every list you look at is like this because nobody holds stock. Demand simply is outweighing supply. I don't know. It's wild. And let's see, I sold at 69. Price is already up to 75 3 hours later. So yeah, I made $23 a unit.
Also to hit on,
Exactly.
oh, you kind of cut out there, Michael, on my end.
I
Anyways,
said exactly.
okay. Also, I lost my thought.
Let's do.
I know. Dang it! I was about to go on a rant till you cut out all day.
You've been cutting out all.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Give it to me.
3, 2, 1. All right. So also, yeah, Michael, you can hit on FBM after I hit on this, but I mentioned anything giftable, but also if you're not selling giftable items, those prices will skyrocket as well, or maybe not skyrocket, but they will go up in price just because there's more foot traffic on Amazon than there would be in the middle of July per se. So that's also something to note. Michael, yeah, hit on FBM fulfillment by merchant. If you don't know what that is, Michael, hit on FBM and why FBM is so good. And yeah.
First, I'm going to touch right back on what you just said, like Prime Day, for example. Perfect example of foot traffic. I had, 1 to 2K in sales a day. Prime Day, back to back. Granted, I had a good amount of inventory check-in at the right time, but I did back to back 6K, 7K days. So like triple revenue from 12 hours. Once it went from July 9th to the 10th, I tripled my revenue. Same thing the next day, and then sales back once again just dropped off a cliff. So simple idea of foot traffic there.
Yeah.
But back to FBM. So FBM fulfilled by merchant. You are selling the item yourself. Obviously, you're selling it through Amazon, but you are shipping the item yourself. Or if you have a prep center that does it, great. Mine does that, which is amazing. It's very hands off. So you list them as FBM, buy the labels yourself. Turnaround time is much faster. Obviously, you aren't receiving the item and then shipping it to Amazon and then waiting for it to check in and waiting for it to sell and then waiting for it to ship to the customer and then your payment clears. Instead, it's kind of just those first 2 steps. You get the item, you sell it, delivered, payment clears. And now is the perfect time to FBM. We are exactly a month and 10 days away from Christmas. Check-in times slow down, which is pretty normal. East Coast especially has been great for me still. West Coast, always slow. So like now is the time to start FBM. Test those ASINs that you think, that are slowly dropping in BSR, which is bestseller rank for those of you that don't know. how fast really something moves, how prevalent it is on Amazon search pages. The better the BSR, chances are the faster it moves in that specific category. Price will skyrocket again, like you said. Test those ASINs out and then really funnel capital into what works. So like now is the time, the next week or two, test those out, and then come early December, you'll be able to capitalize on everything you tested. You'll be able to charge expedited shipping because people don't want to wait for it, and then you can still buy the cheapest shipping or cheapest shipping option, pocket that extra money. It's just a cheat code. Like FBM in Q4 especially is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've told the story again. I'm going to tell it again for those of you who haven't heard it. Last year, Lululemon bags, were buying them straight off the website, $38 per. There's some top cash Rakuten money in there as well, probably 5 to 10% if I had to guess. Anyways, right when they got them in hand, they'd list as FBM on Amazon. They'd ship them out same day. With the margins that Michael was just talking about, say they wanted expedite shipping, and they paid, let's say, $40 for that, and you can still fulfill the sell within the time frame. And with USPS First Class, which now it's USPS Ground Advantage. Anyways, you're paying $5, they're paying $40. You're netting that $35 profit in between on top of the Amazon profit you're making too. So we're buying them for $38, selling them for anywhere between $70 and $80. And then the buyer was paying $120, $130 for a Lululemon belt bag, which is insane. And you're netting, I don't even know, $60 per profit if they pick that shipping option, which is crazy, dude.
Give me your money. I'll take it, bro. All my money's in inventory right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's free. All right. I got a fun little question for y'all. What's your one experience that you just felt bad about how much money you were turning? You know what I'm saying? Like you felt a little bad. And well, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, okay, I would say like this is more of just a problem that came to mind. I wouldn't say like I felt bad.
You know what I mean.
Right. A little bit different scenario, but I started last November. I've been reinvesting ever since, and I am like constantly like drained bank accounts, paying off cards constantly, always buying inventory. Just recently have I actually been able to I don't know, I say put back a little bit, but really I'm just increasing Christmas shopping, for example. Like now that I'm a big boy, I am buying more expensive gifts for other people, but nobody really tells you like that you're not going to take out money for yourself in the first year, especially starting without 50 grand in the bank, 10 grand in the bank, whatever it may be, that you are just constantly reinvesting, turning a profit, turning over your inventory. And I don't think even next year, I'm not sure when I'll actually want to pay myself. I see these great numbers, these big numbers. People think, oh my God, you're doing so well. But in reality, I'm like, I don't want to say I'm struggling. I'm not. I'm like, I'm fine. But all my money is always elsewhere. And that's what a lot of business owners or non-business owners don't understand.
Yeah.
That, I mean, to make money, you got to spend it, stuff like that.
Yeah, you do that. You don't do that out of necessity. You do it because you like it, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're in a position where you could pay yourself, you know, to get by or whatever. You know, I have to pay myself to get by or whatever, but whatever, like, but you do it because you love turning more money.
Right. I want to be able to look 2 years down the road and pull 6 figures a month rather than, you know, give myself a couple $1,000 a month here. Yeah. Like right now to buy, I don't know, a new car for 25 grand. Like that's not worth it now.
Yeah, you don't need that. We don't need cars yet. We're only 20.
To answer your question,
give it to me.
I don't feel bad. I mentioned it earlier.
You know what I mean, though.
I know what you mean, but like we get the shaft too. Like we get the shaft. Like, for example, I bought this $250 hair dryer and sold it for $400, and then it got returned damaged, and I'm out $250. Like, yeah, I got the shaft that time. Like, sometimes you get the shaft, sometimes you give the shaft, I guess.
Actually, the buy cost was $225.
Okay, $225. But also, like, with all these products returning and burning, like, they're available out. Most of them are available. Like we mentioned, limited edition Stanleys. Like, they aren't available in a Stanley anymore. But most of this everyday items that I'm selling on Amazon, they're available on Walmart, Walgreens, Target, like all these different sites. You just have to do a little digging. And a lot of
People are just lazy.
People are just lazy. Yeah, they want to go on Amazon, and get their stuff next day, which is understandable. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I do. I don't do the same thing, but
I do.
know what I mean.
But it has to be private label, or I won't buy it, because otherwise it's going to be cheaper elsewhere.
Yeah,
exactly. So, like, yeah, people just click on the button. They have an app on their phone. I mean, they're not going to Walmart. They're not going to Target, because that takes 20 minutes out of their day. Instead, they get it 2 days later for double the price. Makes no sense to me, but convenience.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. We calling our quits or what? That was good. I have to go play some golf out in the building. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
They're waiting on me for a scramble. All right. Well, should we sign off, Isaac?
Yeah, go ahead and give it a sign off, man.
Let's sign off. All right. Well, appreciate you guys listening or watching Jyles FBA podcast. It's Michael, Isaac. Isaac, appreciate you, dude. And yeah, that's all we got for today.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
Thanks.
All right. That's all she wrote.